Narcissism is a complex pattern of behavior. It's marked by a deep need for admiration from others. People with narcissistic traits often have a very fragile sense of self-worth. They build a false, idealized image of themselves, and this image is like a fortress they must protect at all costs. Anything that threatens this perfect self-image is seen as a major attack. They just cannot handle criticism or accept that they might be wrong. Their whole world is built around maintaining this grand but very unstable idea of who they are. This creates a difficult environment for anyone who gets close to them. This need to appear perfect is honestly the root of many toxic behaviors. Narcissists lack genuine empathy and find it very difficult to understand or share the feelings of others. To them, other people are often just tools. They use people to get the admiration and validation they crave. This isn't always a conscious evil plan. It's a deep-seated survival mechanism for their fragile ego. They live in a world where they are the main character, and everyone else is just part of the supporting cast. This perspective shapes every single one of their interactions and relationships. When things go wrong, a narcissist cannot accept responsibility. Admitting a mistake would shatter their carefully constructed image of perfection. It would mean they are flawed, which is just unbearable to them. So, they've developed powerful psychological tools to avoid blame. These tools are like a hall of mirrors, distorting reality to protect their ego. They twist facts, rewrite history, and manipulate the emotions of those around them. They become experts at making sure the fault always lands on someone else. This is not just a simple lie. It's a fundamental part of how they see the world. The impact of this behavior on relationships is honestly profound and damaging. Being in a relationship with a narcissist can feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells. You might feel confused, anxious, and even start to doubt your own sanity. They create a reality where they are always the hero or the victim, but never the villain. Understanding their tactics is the first step toward protecting yourself from this emotional chaos. It allows you to see behind the curtain and recognize the manipulation for what it is. This is not about diagnosing anyone, but about recognizing unhealthy patterns that can harm you. Blame shifting is a classic narcissistic tactic. It's the act of pushing responsibility for their own mistakes onto someone else. This is not a simple denial, it's an active transfer of fault. The narcissist refuses to accept that they did anything wrong. Instead, they find a target and make that person carry the blame. This protects their ego from the discomfort of accountability. For them, admitting fault feels like a catastrophic failure. So, they'll do anything to avoid it. They become very skilled at finding reasons, no matter how illogical, why someone else is the problem. Let's look at a simple example. Imagine a narcissist is late for an important dinner. A non-narcissistic person might say, "I'm so sorry, I lost track of time." But a narcissist will shift the blame. They might say, "You didn't remind me enough times," or "You chose a restaurant that is so far away." They might even blame traffic or their boss. The point is, it's never their fault. The responsibility is always external. They're experts at crafting a narrative where they are the blameless victim of circumstances or other people's incompetence. Another common scenario involves finances. If a narcissist overspends from a joint bank account, they will not admit their poor judgment. Instead, they might accuse their partner of being too demanding. They could say things like, "I have to buy nice things because you expect a certain lifestyle." Or they might say, "You stress me out so much that I need to shop to feel better." In their mind, their actions are always a reaction to something someone else did. They're masters of turning their own poor choices into evidence of your flaws. This is incredibly confusing and frustrating for the person on the receiving end. This constant blame shifting creates a toxic environment. The person being blamed starts to feel like they can't do anything right. They may begin to believe they are actually the cause of all the problems. This is exactly what the narcissist wants. It keeps the other person off balance and easier to control. The blame game is not just about avoiding responsibility for one mistake. It's a continuous strategy to maintain power and control in the relationship. It erodes the other person's self-esteem and makes them question their own perception of reality. Projection is a psychological defense mechanism. It's closely related to blame shifting, but it's more subtle. Projection is when a narcissist takes their own undesirable feelings, traits, or behaviors and attributes them to someone else. They just can't accept their own negative qualities, so they project them onto others. It's like they're holding a mirror up to themselves, but they see your face in it. This allows them to disown their own flaws and criticize them in another person. It's a way of unloading their own internal shame and anxiety onto you. For instance, a narcissist who is secretly insecure about their intelligence might constantly call their partner stupid or ignorant. They are projecting their own deep-seated fear of inadequacy onto the other person. By accusing you of being unintelligent, they temporarily feel smarter and superior. Another example is a narcissist who is cheating on their partner. They may become intensely suspicious and constantly accuse their loyal partner of being unfaithful. They're projecting their own guilt and untrustworthy behavior onto the very person they are betraying. This tactic is incredibly disorienting. You find yourself defending against accusations that have no basis in reality. These accusations are often about the very things the narcissist is guilty of. If they are a liar, they will call you a liar. If they are being manipulative, they will accuse you of trying to manipulate them. It's a crazy-making form of psychological warfare. You are left feeling confused and hurt, trying to understand where these bizarre accusations are coming from. The source is the narcissist's own mind and their inability to face their own truth. Projection allows the narcissist to maintain their perfect self-image. By seeing their own faults in others, they can judge and attack those faults without having to look inward. It reinforces their sense of being superior and righteous. They get to be the judge, not the one being judged. For the person being projected upon, it's a no-win situation. If you deny the accusations, you're called defensive. If you get upset, you're called unstable. The narcissist uses your reactions as further proof that their projections are correct, trapping you in a cycle of confusion and self-doubt. The first step to protecting yourself is to recognize these tactics. Learn to identify blame shifting and projection when they happen. When you make a small mistake and the narcissist blows it up into a major character flaw, that is a red flag. When they accuse you of things that sound more like them than you, pay attention. Trust your gut. If a conversation leaves you feeling confused, guilty, and questioning your own sanity, you may have just experienced these manipulative behaviors. Naming the tactic, "This is blame shifting," or "This is projection," is a powerful way to take back control of your own mind. Once you recognize the pattern, you must learn to disengage. Do not argue or try to defend yourself against their distorted reality. A narcissist is not interested in the truth. They are interested in winning and protecting their ego. Arguing with them is like playing chess with a pigeon. They will knock over the pieces, make a mess, and then strut around like they won. Instead of engaging, use simple, non-emotional phrases. You can say, "I see things differently," or "I am not going to discuss this with you." Then, walk away. You do not have to attend every argument you are invited to. Setting firm boundaries is crucial for your emotional survival. Boundaries are the rules you set for how others can treat you. With a narcissist, this means creating emotional distance. You might need to limit your contact with them. You may need to decide which topics are off limits for discussion. For example, you can say, "I will not be blamed for your feelings," or "I will end the conversation if you start accusing me of things." Enforcing these boundaries will be difficult. The narcissist will push back, but your consistency is key to protecting your well-being. Finally, seek support. Dealing with a narcissist is emotionally draining. It can leave you feeling isolated and full of self-doubt. Talk to trusted friends, family, or a therapist who understands narcissistic abuse. A support system can validate your experiences and remind you that you are not crazy. They can help you rebuild your self-esteem and regain your sense of reality. Remember, you cannot change the narcissist. You can only change how you react and whether you allow their toxicity into your life. Protecting yourself is not selfish, it is necessary.